this is a picture that I created for you. Now keep in mind, this magic when I wave my hands and flip it around. This is not a Polaroid of what the mind looks like. This is a representation. The mind is non-physical. No human in the history of ever has ever seen a mind before, because it doesn't exist in the physical world. But your mind needs a picture of itself in order to understand it. I've never met one person on the planet that understands their mind that didn't have a picture of it. It's not possible if you ask me. I bet my life on it, and my life is very valuable. So here's something I created for you to understand. Ooh, it's so pretty. Thank you. Even if I'm saying what you're thinking, thank you. So this is really cool, and it's a technical of steps by how your mind works. There's 23 things from here and all these little things, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to break the 23 down into 9 little segments. Before we begin, and I explain all this in detail, and again, there's going to be repetition. There's going to be a lot of good information that you're going to repeat. Any questions on anything so far? Anything you want me to expound on, reframe, say differently, or just another question that's just popping up?
You said the mind is brain and the whole body.
Nope. The mind is stored in the entire body.
Oh, it's stored.
Yeah, the mind and the brain are interconnected. If you think negative thoughts, it's going to affect your brain. If you open up the skull and push on this, it's going to affect the mind. They're interconnected, but they're not the same thing.
Okay. So
But if you were to, I don't know why this is coming, but I'm just going to let it flow. This is 7th grade part of me, maybe 6th grade. If you were going to give yourself a titty twister, it would affect your mind. It would affect your body. They're all interconnected. But a lot of people think the mind and the brain are the same thing because the thoughts come through the head. They actually come through the back of the head, kind of through the third eye. So they're not the same thing, but they're interconnected. Where what I said before, we're multidimensional beings having a multidimensional experience. The physical, psychological, spiritual, and universal worlds, they're 4 separate worlds that cannot be separated. The conscious mind, unconscious mind, higher consciousness, subconscious mind, and the brain, they're 4 separate aspects that can't be separated. They're not the same thing, but they work together. And so the mind is stored in the entire body, and it can actually kind of extend out a little bit, like an aura, like a golden, like a ball.
If it could be actually in front of you too, part of it.
It can. It's inside and outside the body. It's not just like it doesn't stop at the skin. It kind of comes out, and you can project. How to explain this? You can project your mind somewhere else. If you've never been to Costa Rica, raise your hand if you've never been to Costa Rica. Okay. Raise your hand if you don't have a picture of what Costa Rica is in your mind. Okay. So raise your hand if the picture of Costa Rica in your mind is actually Costa Rica or something your mind created of Costa Rica. I already know the answer. It was about 3 people. So the point is, this is what gets really, really interesting about life and the mind and everything, is that you guys have a picture of Costa Rica, but it's not Costa Rica because you've never been to Costa Rica. But your mind's going to relate to it. When you think of Costa Rica, you probably think of ocean and beach. You guys don't think of a toilet in a resort? Nobody? I already know the answer, but you guys don't think of toilet paper in Costa Rica? Because there's toilet paper in Costa Rica, right? Do you think of howler monkeys sleeping? No, probably not. So you think of what you think of, and it's all different and unique. But the point is, how about this? How about Antarctica? How many people have a picture in your mind of Antarctica? Okay, how many people don't have a picture in your mind of Antarctica? Okay. And is your picture of Antarctica like a photographer, like a picture? Are you somewhere in the water looking at land? Is it a cartoon? What is it? You tell me. Like, look mentally and tell me what do you see?
I'm like standing in snow all around me, and it's
You're looking through your eyes.
I'm looking through my eyes.
Okay,
And I'm surrounded by wind and snow and cold.
Okay.
And that's it.
Who else?
Photograph.
A photograph. So you're not there. Can't feel you can feel the temperature. You can't feel the temperature because you're not there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Photograph. It's not moving. It is moving. Okay, interesting. Just a memory. You've never been there, but this is what your mind created. Okay. Who else? Anyone else?
A video of people coming off of a boat in the water and then seeing penguins.
Okay, and that's from research?
Yes.
That's something I shared with you?
No.
Okay. You sure?
Yes.
It's not the tour that we're thinking about considering going in 2 years?
It's not on Instagram.
Okay. Could be the same one because I did see that too, which is really, really cool. That's why I'm asking, that's all. Cool. So does that somewhat answer your question, at least 18%? Hmm?
Yeah, it's just where it's stored. It's not a physical thing.
It's non-physical, it's stored, but I guess I'll get technical because that's what you're unconsciously asking, a little bit more technical. The mind and the soul are very closely related too. I guess if we want to go a little bit here, we can. But when the mind is its own thing and the soul is something different, but they can work together. But the mind can fight against the soul if it's a negative mind, if it's not, if it's choking off metaphorically, like choices, experiences, opportunities, love, growth, things like that. But the mind is, people can have out-of-body experiences. People can go in quiet mind where the kundalini raises. People can go to no mind where you can't actually think of words or numbers. It's something completely different. It's the witness state. But that's a whole different seminar.
Yeah, I think what really clarified it too is you said there's 4 different things, but they're all connected.
They're interconnected. The physical, psychological, spiritual, and universal world, they're 4 separate worlds that cannot be separated. They're separate, they can't be separated. And the conscious mind can't fully understand what that means. And I'm not trying to be tricky, but feel about it for a second. The physical, your body, your mind, your spiritual self, and the universe itself, they're 4 separate things that cannot be separated from each other. Doesn't that just make sense on some level? The conscious mind's like, wait a minute, let me hold my breath and figure it out. No, you gotta breathe to receive.